I mean, you look pretty good. Look like the coin guy. Hey everybody, I'm Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. I'm here with Coin Guy at his shop in Spring Hill, Florida. Coin Guy, how's it been?
Happy New Year! Here we are again on a cold, rainy day. It's 60 degrees in Florida. It's like the end of the world here in January.
Yeah.
A little rain. And
we're saying that, but like up north, everybody's getting snow and they can't stand it.
They got 40 inches, they got 10 inches, they got 6 inches. I talked to a guy in Ohio today. He said it's 9. Good for you. So we got 46 and it's freezing here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we are.
That's Florida, though, for you.
Yep. It's been, we're here for New Year. I had my second Wednesday off already of the New Year because I'm not in on Wednesdays anymore, just to remind people.
I've seen the sign out there. You just have it on a permanent marker. You just wrote it in.
Yeah, I'm going to get a sign made, but I just ain't got to it yet.
Nice.
But we're letting everybody know verbally or on YouTube, and here we are.
Here we are.
Fun was good. I got to walk around Fun.
The Orlando Fun Show.
Yep, the Orlando Fun Show. I dropped off a bunch of coins at Great Collections. That's who I use for my auctions. I'm going to see how they come.
Oh, so we don't know yet.
Well, we don't know yet.
What's the ETA on that, approximately?
Well, one of them I'm going to get cacked. I had one that was in a very early holder, and we're going to have to see how that works.
Ah, okay.
And they told me on this one you should get it cacked, so I'll leave it up to them to cack it.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be the home run of the group. I'll make money on all of them, but that one I'll make the most percentage.
Gotcha.
Because it's one of those holders that very few made, and the holder is worth many times what the coin is worth. So it's going to be fun.
That goes against that saying, guy, where you got to buy the coin, not the holder. This is the opposite this time, huh?
When you have a holder that there's only, I think they said there's only about 300 of them are known to exist. You're buying the holder, not the coin. The coin is just in the way, really.
Very interesting.
So we dropped those off. But I went to see my ancient guy, and I picked up...
Is he pretty old, the ancient guy?
He's probably my age. He's probably younger than I am.
So he's not quite ancient yet.
No, but I got the coins that people are always asking for. I picked up what they call Christ heads, and that's from the time of the Byzantine Empire, and they got the head of Christ on them.
These are beautiful. They really did well on the holders of these, I'll just say.
Yeah, they look really good. They fit nice in there. And then I picked up a whole bunch more of these. It's funny, every time I buy these, they go up another $5 wholesale.
The Widow Mites.
I mean, when I was first selling them, they were $18. But over the course of the last 2 years, for me making the money, I gotta get 30. I mean, them just keep going up.
The Widows might be going up in price on you, huh?
Yeah, well, they are. And then I got these. The other thing people ask for is the Judean coins. Judean is Jerusalem in 40 BC under King Herod. He was the king of Jews in Jerusalem at the time. And, Jerusalem was there since, 1200 BC or something like that. It was always Jerusalem then.
Very cool.
And it was under the control of Israelis, or of the Jews. After this, within 70, 80 years of this, you had the Civil War, which was actually under the Roman Empire, but they let themselves govern. And you had the Civil War with the Civil War, but they fought Rome.
Gotcha.
And you got the famous fortress of Masada, 73 AD, where they refused to surrender. And they built giant ramps. Leave it to the Romans. They built ramps, and just when they were going to breach the walls, the Jews committed suicide.
Jeez.
You got nothing. That's how they felt.
Crazy
But
history.
this is the Judean coins, and this is Christ heads.
Now, you love getting this kind of stuff because it sells pretty well.
They sell well. You got to put a lot of... You can't buy these cheap. I mean, once again, just like these...
Can I see one of these while we're talking?
Yeah, go ahead. The price has gone up quite drastically. And I get there early, and I go right to these guys.
Trying to pick this stuff up. That's cool stuff, guy.
And I have, of course, I still have another 70 or 80 other early coins. I have some other ancients I had, and I wanted their opinions on. and they all agreed what they were all good. And there's about, I'm thinking of keeping most of them. I just haven't had a chance to rehold of them. My son took the Nero from me. I let him have Nero. He was there too. It was all like a family affair. Tara was with me. My son was there, my grandson. And we all walked the floor and hung out. And
The whole gang, huh?
the whole gang was there.
Just Thursday?
Yeah, it was just Thursday. I had a room there for a couple of days, but, you know, it's the COVID thing. I just can't take a chance. I can't be in a room for 3 days, 7, 8 hours a day with 5,000 strangers every day. I shook hands. They took pictures. I kissed the babies. You know, the usual.
I'll tell you what, I usually just go for a Thursday only. It's a long
That's where I
day.
go.
It wears you out.
I was there 4 hours. I was tired.
Yeah.
And,
ready for
you
it
know, it's going between getting opinions on coins. It was seeing great collections. It was doing the ancients. It was just talking to people, looking around. There's a lot to see. It's like a museum. They tell me there were 800 tables. I don't know. I didn't look like it was that big. It was bigger than summer, but they say it was the biggest coin show of the year in the United States. I've been there when there'd been 1,200 tables.
Yeah.
It was certainly smaller than then. It might have been bigger than summer, but what can I tell you? They say it was bigger. Okay.
I had one guy that spoke with me saying that he's like an online kind of dealer and said that it's the biggest show he's ever seen in his life. He was just so impressed by the fun show. That was kind of cool.
It was cool, but the biggest show I ever saw was the Denver, the ANA show in Denver in '96.
Huge, huh?
I never got to the end. You couldn't see the end. It was like the Brooklyn Navy Guards. I think there were 1,500 or 2,000 tables.
Wow.
When you walked in, the auction houses had tables set up with people. They literally had a company of state troopers and police. There had to be 20 of them when you walked in. There were cops everywhere.
Wow.
And when you walked in, it went way into the distance. I never got to the end. I was doing too much dealing. I was by my aunt's down in what's it called, Colorado Springs, and you know, it was a great. That was the biggest show I ever saw.
That's wild.
Yeah, that was a big show.
In spite of like having a decent security at these shows, having people like, you know, just elbow to elbow at these shows, you heard about, like, I guess Friday, some guy tried to steal and got dropped.
Saw the video.
Saw the video, yeah.
Saw the video.
How nuts is that, huh?
Yeah, it's the arrogance of people. You know, they must think they're in New York or L.A. They can just walk in and take the underwear right out of the rack or take the coin right off the table.
Jeez.
You know, people are going to notice. Or maybe you got away a few times where somebody will notice. And then you're going to get a little of a hurting. That big guy fell on him. Boy, that guy must weigh 300 pounds.
Oh, at least. That was a big dude.
Yeah, he was a big guy. He must have
Andre
been
the Giant right there.
Yeah, I said he must have been 6'7".
Yeah, he's big.
He was huge.
He's probably close to the 4 bills right there.
Yeah.
I saw some cool stuff in here, Guy. This is stuff I don't normally see. This is a little different here and there. I see the Don. You got some Don pieces. Mm-hmm. You said those have been selling pretty well, huh?
The Trump coins, oh yeah. I've gone to about 30 or 40 already, and I only just got them. I had them shipped to me from a wholesaler where I sold a bunch of scrap silver.
I see the Coin Guy Spegtacular silver round, so.
We have plenty in stock.
Yeah. You show both sides of that? What's the other side looking like? Let me see. I know those.
Look
sides.
at
Oh,
that.
Look at that. That's so fun. What is this giant thing here?
That's 4 ounce silver round.
Just a silver round.
That's $100.
That's cool. So it has some of the quarters on it.
Mm-hmm. It's just showing them, but it's 4 ounces, 4 troy ounces.
That's awesome.
I can't keep gold. I bought this today. It's the only reason I have it.
I saw that, man. That's. Can I actually see that one? That's gonna sell quick, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, how has this stuff been doing? Like this 90%?
I got a lot of
Pre-33.
requests for. I'm picking up. I'm supposed to get a bunch tonight. We'll see. It's supposed to be about 10 cougar ends, more silver. We'll see how that goes. But, you know, a lot of times you get this, you're going to come and nobody shows up.
Now, on this kind of coin, Guy, because we're saying this is an AU, where is this lacking the BU at right here? Because the luster is really good.
It's got a lot of luster, but I'm very critical of these. Um,
Kind of like the strike, maybe on like the Liberty, maybe.
I do it for a couple of reasons. There's a lot of chatter in here, and I see a little bit of this probably would pass as an unk.
When you say chatter, we're talking about scratches, little
Yeah,
dinks.
in the back.
It's really not that bad though.
No, it's it's there.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But I just don't get. I don't have gold. 90% is being very resilient to sales.
90% silver.
Yeah, I sold about $40 face. That's $40 for this week. I've sold for the week. It's not moving. I got a lot of requests for 999. I don't have, but I'm going to get a bunch tonight. Supposed to get a bunch of everything tonight. So, come tomorrow, I should be fully prepared. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, this is not going to be in your store very long.
No, I don't think so.
I guess we should say real quick that I'll have Guy's description or information, excuse me, down in the description of the video.
Yeah, but it'll be gone.
When you see this video and you see something on screen, Guy may or may not have it. Give him a call, ask him about it. He might be able to get something else or something, but just don't be mad at him if you don't see this anymore.
I had 3 of those.
Okay, this is the
I
last
sold
one.
the other 2 about a half hour ago.
Yeah. What kind of price do you have to get on something like this, Guy?
I get about 21 for that. When you're looking at gold at 2020 right now,
Yeah.
it's got about $60 less, $70 less gold because it's constitutional.
It's history.
So
There's so much
if
history
you've
here.
got gold at 2020 times 0.9675, that's the actual gold. There's milk, 1954.
Yeah.
But I still pay over $2,000 to buy them.
Yeah.
They just have that kind of premium. A lot of people want constitutional gold,
I
and they sell.
I don't know how the shop can just hold on like that when you have to have such a big amount of money tied up in something like that,
Well,
and
you
you
gotta
make
make
such
money.
a small piece.
And that's what I tell people. It isn't just the $2,000 I pay for it. When you go to sell it, between buying and selling, you're handling over $4,100. I can't do that for $30.
Right.
When you look at 4,100, if a person buys a car for 40,000, do you think they buy and sell it for $1,000?
No way.
Between buying and selling, you're handling a lot of cash, and when you're buying multiples of them, you gotta keep the lights on. I just got new insurance. I am now covered by Lloyd's of London.
Lloyd's of London.
That's how big Coin Guy is
Wow.
now.
Okay.
Lloyd's of London.
Fantastic.
In fact, they gave me a decent price. I had to get out of the country to get insurance.
Just watch out for the werewolves of London.
They wanted 12,000.
Really?
Yeah, 12,000.
Man.
In June, they told me 12. I got it for a little over 4. I mean,
Insurance is such a sham, man.
yeah, it's like people don't realize. It's like when you're dealing and somebody, this guy down this, at the flea market will give it to me for a quarter less. Well, he doesn't have even an electric bill. I mean, I'm up front. I'm a brick and mortar. I pay school tax. You're looking at insurance and your property taxes. So that adds up.
And you get to come into this shop and meet the Coin Guy, world famous. Wow.
I had people in here last week that we had a good visit. They were here almost 2 hours. From England. I've been
Bloody
to
old
England.
England, huh?
Couple of times, these guys. Shout out to them. We had a good talk, and I love their colloquialism, the way they had expressions, and how the one guy was Ryan, I believe his name. He was telling about how he learned to be good at math because in the pubs there, everybody plays darts, and you have to add your own points up and your own scores. And he said, and if you're wrong, boy, your blokes will come after you.
Yeah.
It was just interesting listening to
funny.
them talk. But say hello for me there.
There you go.
Hey, Ryan.
They can mail us the check later for
Yeah.
the advertisement, right? All right, guys, try that real quick. You're on the dartboard. You hit a triple 20. What is that?
60.
You're like, come on. Come on, man.
I may have had all my teeth pulled.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
Had all my teeth pulled. I got the new dentures
You look
in.
good, man.
Pain and blood. Look at this.
We got to get... Oh, yeah. Did the wife not like him? Is that what happened?
Well, my grandkids said, what happened? He said, you should have seen the other guy.
That's great.
They're on there, pulling this.
We have to get used to it, but we will.
Well, I'll get used to it too. I'm still eating soft stuff, but I never was a big steak eater, and I guess I never will be now.
Oh, man.
But
I like my steak. All right. Well, what about this thing right here, guy? This is a bezel. This thing is not going to be there very long. This Morgan and a
this
bezel.
I picked up, yeah. That's a coin in a bezel. I mean, it's sterling. It's marked.
Only 47?
Yeah, it's
I think
interesting.
you should have probably went a little higher than that.
Well, I figured there's about $15, $18 worth of silver in this thing alone.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cheap right there. But hey, you're the coin guy. You know better than I do. That's really cool. I would love to have it, but I'm not going to take it because what happens? I end up getting it. You get a call for it, and then people get mad at me.
He took it again. But I've been pulling out a couple of articles I saw.
All right, we got articles. You got a lot of ones on that bill too, right there. Did we see that before?
A bunch of fancy notes.
That is fancy.
That's a fancy note. Aces.
Phew.
You have that in your... Was that the one with 6 or 7
I think
aces?
there's 7, right? Is that a 7er?
Yeah, 7 aces.
7 Juans. All right, so we got articles we're picking out. World War II spying plan, huh?
We were closed for 2 weeks, and we did inventory, and we went to the fund, and I organized a lot of stuff. I had whole boxes full of British coins, and I organized them, and I broke them down.
I feel like that's all your job is, just organizing and cataloging.
And this is easy, this way people can look and say, do you have that? Well, I can go right by denomination, and I can find them. Then I have a bunch of certified ones.
That's pretty right there.
Yeah.
Nano Man, can I get a better picture of that? Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. 3 pence, huh?
I got some pretty early ones in here too.
What's it go to? 6 pence, none the richer?
No, you're thinking of what a bride has.
Oh.
Something borrowed, something blue, and 6 pence in your shoe.
It's actually
That's supposed to be for luck.
It's also a band too. 6 pence, none the richer. I think they're like a one-hitter. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, 1825. I got some early ones over there. I mean, this is real early stuff. $95. Try and buy a U.S. quarter. A U.S. quarter in a VF for around that kind of year, for anywhere 3 times, 4 times that amount of money.
How common is the British collector that comes into your shop?
Not often. They will come in just like these guys came in, and they were both buying. It was a father and a son, and they were both buying. I get tourists. I get a lot of tourists who come in from England to visit Disney or to visit Florida, and they come and see me. And the Europeans, one thing I learned 30 years ago when I first went to Europe is when they go on holiday, for us a 2-week vacation's a long time. They go 6 weeks, 10 weeks. One family was on vacation for 3 months from New Zealand.
Must be
3
nice.
months.
Must be nice.
They had a cattle ranch.
How can they afford that, huh?
Well, guess they did. They must have sold the cows.
That's cool.
But I have other books that I've broken down into Spain, France, just different countries. German, I got England. I have the most, but then I got a lot of Canadian. I didn't break that down completely. But this was one of my projects while I was at home, and then I was looking through. Here's where money was used to catch a spy during World War II. Because these were big notes, the ones that went to, I believe it's in 1935 or 37.
Okay.
And it was in the early 40s when a spy was let off from a submarine. In 42, I think that's it.
So you got some like John Wick money here almost, huh?
Well, he started using this money all around, and people got suspicious. And they caught him. And he confessed right away.
Crazy.
Well, it's good looking out. I mean, people were looking at what he had. And I thought that was an interesting story.
That's super interesting. Where do you find this? This is Coin World or
This
something?
Coin World.
Okay. So a little
This
shout
is
out there.
a design that caught a numismatic design change in the paper money that caught a spy in England.
Interesting.
They turned him, actually. That's him there.
Oh, that's him? That's the spy?
Mm-hmm.
Aha. They got their man.
Yep.
U.S. after his capture. Okay.
And then I got this article.
It's got like 20 different names. You see that?
Yeah. Well, you see, was something like von something. That means he was part of the German aristocracy usually. Von something usually implies he comes from money or old money. My son has mentioned these before, and I've seen them. Lab-grown diamonds. Not really what we do here, but we get jewelry in. It's something you better look out for. And my son has been telling me about this kind of stuff. And the amount, what was interesting was how much diamonds De Beers sold in December. They usually sell over 400 million. 120 is how much they sold in natural diamonds. That's how much the lab-grown diamonds are taking over the market.
And they're
Tremendous.
much cheaper.
Much cheaper. And like my son says, you can't tell the difference. He has like a $5,000 machine that you put it in and it does light, but it's going to pass most other tests. And he said they will pass the diamond test. I mean, you know, it's just become part of it, and you can get so much more diamond for the money. Mine diamonds, and what this, the people who like this or the Generation Z. Everything's about the Z kids.
You know, it's funny. I had a talk with one of my buddies, and he and his fiance were having an argument on how much they were supposed to spend on her engagement ring, and she wanted him to spend 20 grand on this engagement ring, and she was like set in stone on this. And I said, here's what you do: you go get yourself one of these lab growns, and you tell her it was 20,000.
You can get a I think my son said you can get like a 3 or 4 carat lab grown for 3 or 4,000.
There you go.
That would sell for 30.
There you go.
And you ain't gonna know the difference.
Yep.
You go to a party and it's gonna have the bling. And who's gonna know? It's like when people say, oh, I want 14 carat. 10 carat holds up just as good. And who's gonna know? They're gonna take it off your finger and want to see see the number on the back? You need new friends.
It's gonna take a specialist, somebody in the field to be able to determine that, yeah.
I mean, it's just a matter of, it's in these they're talking. And this I take with a grain of salt. They say, well, you don't have the mining involved and it's more environmental. Yeah, but it takes like 10 times. It takes a tremendous amount of electricity to create these lab-grown diamonds. So there's always right now, you look at the news. All these electric cars are piling up. Nobody wants them. You had what? You had 8 below, 10 below. I watched a football game the other day in Pittsburgh. 40 inches of snow. How do you get to that charger? There's lines. They have to tow cars. You can't get to the chargers.
Huh.
I mean, I have a hybrid, but my car doesn't plug in. I mean, I went and got gas the other day. I was down to like 1 gallon of gas. My car only takes 13.8 gallons, and I can go 500 miles.
That's intense.
$40.
That's cool.
$38 is all I could put in.
Yeah.
It'll hold 40, I guess. That's a full tank of gas. What I do with the rest? I buy some lottery tickets because it's $200 million. I don't want to talk about that. But, I find it interesting. I don't mind that. But, this is a thing. I think my son is going to be having a pod about this to give you more information. That's Brian over there in St. Augustine, the Vault and Company. And that's where he has these. But I thought this was very interesting. And I've been hearing more, and I highlighted a lot of this in the article.
Very interesting, for sure. All right, now, so if you don't mind, Guy, unless you got something else going on. I got some stuff over here in the case that's kind of new to me. You know what I mean? And people like to see the cases a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of walk around. I see you got some really nice Morgans right here.
I bought about 30 out of an estate. They came in.
These all came together?
All this came together.
Yeah.
All the 64s. There were about 30 of them.
Can we see some of these? Mm-hmm. I like them. Those holders are a little older. People love those.
There's a couple of older ones, but they're not the ones that have the huge value.
Let's see.
You can tell usually which ones they are.
Usually they're kind of thick too, those really old ones.
This is maybe
That's
one.
a pretty one.
Yeah, this is one of the older holders. The other guy was in here before. He bought one. He didn't buy this one. I said, I think this is a 5.
Yeah, it kind of caught my eye.
This has got some proof fields, but it's, I mean, that's a beauty.
Now, what's the allure to these older holders?
Just that they're older. Low, they didn't make a lot of them. They went through stages, it was trial and error, what worked better. There's one in here, I think, that is a rattler.
There's some thought that these older times of grading, they were a little bit more conservative.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty coin right there, guy. For $90, huh? Now, here's the thing, though, right? It's a MS64 1880S, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not an incredibly rare date by any means. It's a common coin, right? So if this is a 65, is there a big price difference?
Probably double.
Really?
Yeah, we can take a look. What year is that one?
This is an 1880 San Francisco.
ADS.
ADS. And the toning has to add value too. That's a really nice toning on that. Again, this is going to be those coins. It's just going to be gone. People are going to be like, I need that 1880S that he showed on screen for a minute. It's gone. By the time you call, it's probably gone.
Here it is, 1880S.
Yeah.
In a 4, it's 97.
Okay, so you're under that already.
5's 160.
Yeah, boom.
160. And I bet you'll find 5's not as pretty as that.
Yeah, this is
the
super
flash.
Cool.
Sometimes it's the eye appeal. I've
seen
seen coins in 5's that, then again, I've seen coins that I've told people more than once, never break this out of its holder. This is overgraded, or you were lucky. That guy had his coffee that morning, or he was in a good mood. I don't know. Here's another famous coin you hear.
The Rattler. Now, why do they call it a Rattler, guy? Because it rattles.
Whether there's a penny in it or $1, it's going to make noise.
You know what drives me crazy about these holders? Is that the coin will end up being upside down, and you got to sit there and play with it to get it back.
I don't bother.
You just leave it.
Buy it and have fun.
Yeah. And that big time was the consensus here amongst the community, is that they were much more conservative on the grading. So people tend to get this for the collectability of an older holder, and the fact that this 63 might be a 64 if they go bring it back to get graded. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Which, like I said, this one I think could pass. I got a couple of other early ones like that.
Hey, Guy, those people that came from overseas over there, what'd they think about your right-hand man that you have on your hip right there? Were they freaking out about that?
that.
They didn't mention it.
They didn't mention it,
I'm surprised.
I guess now that you mention it, I guess I'm not surprised. I am surprised he didn't. Because you can't own guns there. But like I've said before, these are crazy times we live in. And they ain't getting any better. We're a lot better off here in Florida than if you live in major cities now, where I heard they're locking up the socks and the underwear.
Yeah.
My goodness. I
think it was Ohio where they allowed that constitutional carry. And I believe that, I think it was like 7 or 8 of the big cities, they found that across the board, crime had been coming down.
Well, I've heard that old adage about an armed society is a polite society. There's probably some truth to that. But when all the bad people can get guns, and they're going to get guns either way, they carry on about guns. I wouldn't be in this business if I couldn't be armed in the situation I am. And as I said, I was a rough and tumble person when I was younger, but I'm not the person I was 30 years ago. And it's just the way it is. Like, I remember that old line from Dirty Harry. He's not going to let you leave here, Smith & Wesson and me. Smith & Wesson. This is Colt. That's who's backing me up. I'm an old man now.
You grew up in a rough place too, didn't you?
Now, some of it, but, it was the times. But those were not the times where you settled anything with guns. It was usually fists. Yeah. Half the time it was a wrestling match. You didn't look to kill the person. That's just the way I was and the way any confrontations I had. It's like I told my wife many years ago when I first met her, and she, her family always had a boat in the water in West Islip. And what do you mean you can't swim? I said, I can float, But I grew up in neighborhoods where you had to learn either to fight or run. When to know the difference. I never swam away from a confrontation, so I didn't need to learn to swim.
Right.
And I think that holds fast for a lot of city kids and, people inland and Midwest and everything. When you grew up on the water and you always had a boat in the water, I guess you had to learn to swim.
So, Guy, if we want to just take you over, all we got to do is flood this place and you're done.
Just about. I heard they've had some heavy flooding out on Long Island, my old stopping grounds, Lindenhurst.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That one does. It just, that toning, that perfect toning, that
another one
luster,
with
it just hits your eye.
See, this is another early holder.
Just like a big pizza pie, man. That's amore.
Slightly better.
What do you got?
This is the 89. Now, you can get the 89, and then when you have the 89S in that grade, it explodes.
Again, beautiful toning right there. I love how that subtle blue right there is on top. That's pretty. I'm not a fan of the just overall rainbow on the entirety of the coin, Guy, because I typically kind of go, okay, what have they done to that coin to purposely do that? Usually, right? Unless it's just one-sided, maybe. But this right here is beautiful. How it's just the rim.
My guess, this was in an old book, an old album, and you don't have archival quality paper, and the sulfur in the paper leaches out, and that's what gives you those colors.
Just about everything now, it will say archival quality right there on it. And, maybe it's true. If it comes from China, maybe it's true. I don't know.
Well, there's one company that has archival quality that I question their green books.
You want to shout them out?
No.
No. Okay.
They're green books.
We're just going to question it. Green books. I got you.
This is the 89S in this is 750.
It's pretty, huh?
Yeah. These look good. It's a nice impression,
That's
too.
pretty.
I mean, there was quite a few of them.
Yeah. What about these ones?
But
It's just something as I was walking by, I'm like, ooh, we got to talk about this.
I need to support all this, I think, Tuesday.
Because,
these are doubles of these days.
We totally rehearsed all this before,
See, like, here's a 97. Now, look at the price of a 97.
Okay. Let's see what we got here.
And a 98.
149 for the 97.
And these are 99. 99. Now, see, you take, once again, you take this. This is a 97 and a 4. This doesn't have the flash the others do. That's probably a 4, because the flash to me is important, too. Yeah.
When you say flash, kind of define that.
The eye appeal.
Boom.
The eye pop.
It just draws you right to it.
Next grade up, this is 250.
Yeah.
I mean, but when you look at that, and you look at this, or even look at this, this has a little bit back there. This one's the prettier one.
I get immediately drawn to these two.
I mean, you look at the cheek and everything. I don't know why this isn't a 5. I guess if I was Heritage, I'd get a 5. I don't want to say that out loud, but, See, the label's slightly different, darker, lighter. It's probably a different generation.
I feel like it's starting to...
Put them side by side. I mean, it jumps out at you.
Approach that like kind of proof likeness right here.
Yeah, I see some proof like in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But some people love that, just that blast white, the no toning. They really enjoy that. It's to each their own, right?
This to me is beautiful.
Some
I
people
almost sold that earlier. The guy didn't buy it. Don't come to me if you ain't got money in your pocket. What am I going to tell you? I'll tempt you. And if you don't got it, it's sorry.
In the wrong place, huh? Some people see these right here, Guy, and they're disgusted. They're like, I want raw coins only. They're going to take that and they're going to break it right out.
That was a story. I remember, I'm going back almost 40 years, 38 years, whatever it was, back in the mid-'80s, and the old-timers who had it over in the 110 coin show, the guys who are probably my age now then, this is never going to last. Or he was probably holding a rattler up to me. He goes, coin collectors want to handle their money. This is going to last a year or two, and it's going to be gone. It's never going to last. Well, bud, it's been close to 40 years now. The test of time is not holding up on you.
It's getting bigger all the time, isn't it?
It certainly is. And now you've got the CAC people out there
Another grading company. You got some of those grading companies that are going to like big fun shows, like the Florida United Numismatist show. They're going out there and hand selecting, buying these coins from these different tables. Then they're sending them back to their own company to get graded, and then they're reselling them to you as these special.
See, I have a problem with some of that, where you have people who work for these grading companies who walk the floor and start hand-picking. You know, are you a dealer or are you a grading company? You know, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. Well, I don't have a table there, so my son's talking about getting a table next year, this summer fun. And if we do, I will just come there to sell T-shirts and coins and say hello to people. As I said, I can't be in their room for multiple days. I'll come for a few hours to hang out with him and see people. But, you know, I'm thinking of doing that. But, you know, like I said, there's a good turnout there. But I know I've had other people question that. You know, I know of a person who works for a grading company, and they walk around picking up coins and then sending it to another grading company, and they're making money on everybody.
Well, the point of those companies are a third-party grading service, right? And so they're not really in the battle of the dealer and the buyer. They're a third party, but now they've become more than that.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you should be a non-compete. You know, but maybe, well, you should be making some places they hire people who aren't collectors, but then how do you get the skill set to grade coins? You know, hey, you at the checker at Targets, you want to be a grader? No, you got to know the business. But I guess you got to accept one. It's got to be a trade-off. Or you do it for a couple of years and then you go into business for yourself. I've known people have done that.
Got to be a trade-off.
So, you know, it's that kind of thing.
I got a little disappointment in me right now. Your peace dollar section?
I can't keep peace dollars in the store.
It's gone.
Yeah, I can't keep them in the store. The Brits bought a lot. They were big on Morgans. Everything will sell. And like I tell people, there's nobody you're going to find around that's going to have a store like this. Very few and far between.
Like this.
We have probably over 100 linear feet of coin.
Ooh, little fancy lights.
I mean,
with
you
your
got
remote?
multiple shelves,
What?
and you got all of this. There's all kinds of wackadoo and exnomia and whatever it may be. You know, most places you walk into, they got 3 red trays, and they think they're a coin dealer. You know, or they're bullion dealers, and they do coins, but they really are bullion dealers.
Yeah. You got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Somebody brings in some odd things.
I put a tray of Palestinian coins out.
Got the Palestinian coins.
Palestinian coins too. Only to be fair, here's all the Israeli. I bought 2 big books full of Israeli coins like this. I don't know how many there are. About 80 or 90. I just haven't gotten a chance to get to them. All silver. Literally all silver. I think a lot of these same ones. And then I picked up a whole bunch of Israeli medals. And I got some Israeli gold coins. I just can't find them.
From where, guys? Somebody just brings these in?
They bring them in. They get them out of the States.
They probably thought,
they
hey, these
find
are
them in
hot now.
garages. They find them in boxes. You have a cottage business of people who buy...
What are those Mardi Gras things?
That's what they are, Mardi Gras.
So, like, some people at the Mardi Gras are throwing beads. Are they throwing these things at you? These are heavy.
No, feel this and feel that.
This one's heavy. This one's light.
That ain't half the weight of that.
No.
I guess whatever the reason is, what is this? Aren't they both the same?
They're sure different in weight, for sure.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got
1975.
these. These came out today, actually, because I had to hold this stuff 30 days.
Where do you find the price of the stuff like this? You have to go to, like, eBay or
Tara
something?
looks it up.
Yeah. These got to be collectible.
I mean, Tara looked it up, and we got ideas. And this is...
Those are cool. Where am I going over here? Okay.
In vino veritas.
I got to watch your chairs here, guy. You actually want people to sit here and look at coins.
Yeah. In vino veritas.
Vino
In
veritas.
wine there is truth.
Ah.
It's an old Latin saying. I guess, you know, if you had a few drinks, you tell the truth.
I think I remember that line in Vino Veritas. I think it was said on Tombstone.
It could have been.
I believe Doc Holliday said that. I believe. Or he said something different and it sounded like this. But
Well, it might have been. There was an expert in wine, in liquors.
yeah.
These are just under an ounce of gold of silver. I think they're like 29.5 grams. But they're Mardi Gras coins from 70 and 71. I look at them as silver rounds, but they're a little more than that. And
They're
that's the numbers they go for. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I guarantee there's a big collector out there.
I sold one already. I had a 69. That one went already. I only just put these out 3 hours ago.
These are fantastic. Fantastic, guy.
Like I said, you never know what's going to come next.
It's like a box of chocolates in here, man.
It really is. And that's what keeps me interested. It keeps you going. Why would I want to retire? Well, for the right money, I'd retire. But
there's probably very few days that you've come to work and, as you're buying collections, seen like a whole day of like, oh, I know every single thing that came through the door. There's some odds and ends that have come through the door. I'm sure you've never seen.
There are things I find later, and that's what I did. I cleared that table off in the last few days because it was quiet Monday and Tuesday, and even at home I went through stuff, and I still got stuff at home. I mean, it's already filled up again. But I had this all off of here because I wanted to show this.
Okay, what is this?
Peace dollars.
Oh, you do have peace dollars. You were holding out on us, man.
2,600 for 100.
That's a really good deal.
That looks like an oak right there.
That's a really good deal.
But this is going to be mixed grades, and I might be picking up another 100 tonight. We'll see. I get 26. And then I have the 21s and the Morgans would cost you 27.
So these come to about 26 each?
Yes.
That's a really good price.
I mean,
really and you got a mixture of all different
that's the
things
only
here.
bag I have right now. I only have one bag.
Oh, jeez. You know what's going to happen. By the time somebody goes and makes that phone call,
well,
they're gone. But you might have more. You might have more.
As I said, I might pick up another 100 tonight. But we'll see. That's, like I said, that's what it's been. But yeah, I got a lot of phone calls yesterday. I'm off. 3 or 4 of those deals came together today because they called again. So we took care of them today, a couple of mail outs. And I answered questions, and I'll catch you later. And some I don't catch. I mean, I need the Wednesday to see doctors, and I do banking yesterday, all kinds of stuff.
And I bet you do a lot of coin work at home
I do
on
some.
Wednesday.
I still got more to do.
What are these in the bezel here? These
are
little Credit Suisse. What are those?
These are Credit Suisse. This is 2 grams, 14 karat gold.
Wearable gold too, right?
Oh yeah, wearable, absolutely. This one comes with the bezel. This is 5 grams, 999.
USA ingot. That's kind of cool. You can go bop those around.
Oh yeah, this is about $110. That one, well, you're looking at the gold. Gold it's taking a hit right now.
A little shellacking.
Yeah, it's down like, what's it down?
On
the 15th, it was 2050. Now it's 2020. $30.
Came down in price.
That's a heck of a lot.
Time to buy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you can find it. 2020 divided by 31. You're looking at $65 a gram.
Not bad.
So you got 5 times 5. So this is 325 is just melt. And then you got the premium you get, and then you have a gold bezel on this.
Yeah.
That's where you get up to probably around 4.5.
Some of those bezeled pieces, the
Fortune.
premium, oh man, that's crazy.
That's why when I get scrap gold in, I save the bezels, because I can sell the bezel for a fraction of what, if I have to order the coin, if I have to order a nice round bezel for a $20 gold piece, or a gold eagle, especially the one with the rope chain detail around it, you're going to pay me more money. It costs me more money than I would sell it to you if I have one here. Just to get the coin in, not, the bezel in, not if I make a few dollars on it. I mean, you get a fortune to make bezels.
Yeah.
They just do, all of the manufacturers. Well, nobody works cheap anymore.
No, and nobody works well
it's
anymore.
just,
Jeez. Guys, speaking
just
of
incredible.
Speaking of coming down in price, just a smidge. Let's talk about palladium for a second, huh?
Oh God.
How about the poor people that bought palladium at 3,000 and now they're like, oh, it's coming back. I'll just wait.
I don't know. You're looking at, when you look at palladium and platinum, okay, Platinum outperformed palladium today.
He's at a
The
spot
difference between palladium and platinum is $18. $18.
What if palladium goes under platinum?
I don't know.
Huh? I mean, it just keeps dropping.
I don't
It's a
know.
free fall moment.
I don't understand how platinum is less than half the price of gold.
I mean,
And rhodium, I remember rhodium at 12,000. It's 4,300 now, and it's up 150 today.
man, Tom Petty wrote a song about palladium. It's called Free Falling. You know?
I know. You know, it's the people who manipulate and control. That's what it's all about: manipulation and control. But that's the way the world has always been, I guess. But it's been, it's a new year. I'm looking forward to extra days off. And I know Susan has some vacations planned. So call to make sure I'm here when you decide to come in, especially if you're flying in from Holland or England or something. And I've had people from both who come in to see Disney and come see me, and I appreciate that. As I said, we're in for another year, and we'll see what this brings.
You think it'll be a good year? Maybe towards the end of the year, it'll be a really nice year?
I think it's going to be a good year. Also because I've cut back, as I said. I am not going to be here as much, so I don't expect to make as much, but I'm going to have more free time and do what I do, and focus on things or whatever it may be. You know me, when I think of coins, that's just who I am. If I'm watching a series and they bring up, a coin or they bring up a phrase, and I know what the history behind that and how it came about. That's just part of my background. I love the game. And as I said, I thank everyone who watches me. And I got a lot of phone calls. Happy New Year. How you doing? Love our videos. I should just keep watching.
Keep watching.
Keep watching. Hang in there.
We'll keep doing
And hopefully things get better.
Hopefully. Again, Guy, one more time, I'm going to remind people that if they want to contact you, information will be down below this video in the description. I so subtly, I just kind of put his number right here once in a while. I kind of zoom in on it and I show it off. But that is Coin Guy's phone number. And like Coin Guy said, try to give him a call during normal business hours, to see if he's actually here. And if you want to come by and see him, he likes that.
I hate if you drive down from Indiana and I'm off that day. Give me a call first. See what I can do.
You're still doing free autographs? You've been charging for those?
Yeah, free autographs.
Free autographs?
Free autographs.
Shoo.
And the guys from England, I gave them each a T-shirt.
Well, I mean, they came down here to see you.
Yeah, they spent some big money too.
That's
so
a long way.
For that, you can each get a T-shirt. Enjoy it.
Very good.
But God bless America, and Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Guy. Bye.
Take care.
Well, hello, everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe, and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. When I was a kid, we did this every day in school, and I believe we need to bring this back a little bit, and I'm going to start right now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.